Hi, I'm Mr. New Jersey. Several months ago, a viewer requested that I make a video about the New Jersey flag, why it is terrible, and possible replacements. I had seen TED Talks and interviews about flag making in the past, so this request intrigued me. Thus, I decided to go back and delve even deeper into vexillology, the study of flag making. This video is the product of that research. Before we can discuss why the New Jersey flag is not a good flag, we should first discuss what the New Jersey flag is actually trying to represent. The New Jersey flag is pretty much just the state seal put onto a flag, except that when it's in the form of the state seal, there's also a circle around it and the words "Great Seal of the State of New Jersey" are written across the top. You've probably seen the state seal before on government documents such as your tax returns. It's also all over the State House if you've ever toured that building. In 1777, during the Revolutionary War, Central Jersey became too dangerous for the New Jersey government to conduct business, so the colonial legislature set up shop at the Indian King Tavern in Haddonfield, New Jersey. The New Jersey legislature did many important things while in Haddonfield, including ratifying the Declaration of Independence, officially changing New Jersey's documents to say State of New Jersey rather than Colony, and adopting the state seal. It wasn't until the late 1800s that the New Jersey legislature decided to take the state seal and make it the centerpiece of our state flag, albeit with the words "Great Seal of New Jersey" and the circular border removed. Now, let's talk about the symbolism of the state seal. The key to understanding the state seal is written right at the bottom: liberty and prosperity. Virtually everything on the state seal represents one of those two words. Let's start with liberty. The woman on the left in orange represents the goddess Liberty, and you'll notice that in her hand she's holding a pike with a red cap on it. That is a liberty cap, which was a symbol in ancient times of a slave being freed. During the American Revolution, the symbol of liberty caps was revived to symbolize colonial Americans throwing off their bondage to Great Britain. In the center of the flag, you have a horse's head, a knight's helmet, and a shield. All of those things are meant to represent knights and the battle for freedom. Later on in New Jersey history, horses were actually named the state animal, both because a horse is depicted on this flag and because of New Jersey's prominent role in the horse racing industry. As one last reference to liberty on this seal, down at the bottom you can see 1776, the year of America's and New Jersey's independence from the British Empire. Now, let's talk about prosperity. The woman on the right in red is the Roman goddess Ceres, who represents agriculture. In her hand, she's holding a cornucopia filled with an abundance of crops, representing the state's agricultural industry. Agriculture is further represented by the three plows in the middle of the shield. Lastly, let's talk about the colors on this flag. The two primary colors are buff, which is the yellowish color in the background, and a dark blue. During the Revolution, those two colors were chosen by George Washington to be the colors of the uniforms of New Jersey's regiments. By incorporating both colors, the state flag tries to represent New Jersey's role in the Revolution. Given all the wonderful symbolism representing our state, I think the New Jersey seal actually works pretty well as a seal, just not as a flag. So now, let's delve deeper into vexillology and figure out why New Jersey's flag isn't very good. According to the North American Vexillological Association, there are 5 basic principles to making a good flag. 1 is keep it simple. The association says that a flag should be simple enough for a child to draw it from memory. In this way, a flag can be a recognizable symbol that anybody can remember and think of in their minds easily. I think it almost goes without saying that this seal is not simple. Secondly, a good flag has to use meaningful symbolism. Whatever you put on the flag has to be representative of the organization or jurisdiction the flag represents. This is one area where the New Jersey flag actually does well, since it carries over the symbolism from the state seal. But let's keep going through these characteristics. The association says that a flag should be limited to just a few basic colors. You want these colors to have a good contrast between light and dark colors. The New Jersey flag does poorly in the color department. Yes, there's some contrast between the dark blue and the light buff color, but the middle of the flag has too many random colors crammed into it and too much empty space on either side. A good flag would ideally have just a few colors spread out across the whole thing, rather than a whole bunch of colors crammed into the middle and excess space. As the fourth flag-making characteristic, and this is where the New Jersey flag really does poorly, the association says that no flag should have words or seals. New Jersey's flag literally is its seal, and there's words at the bottom of it. Now that we've gone through several of the flag-making principles, you might be wondering, but why are these the principles? Why should a good flag have only a few colors, not have a seal, and not have words? I think one of the main reasons is you want to have big colors so that your flag can be easily recognizable from far away. Here's a picture I took of the New Jersey flag and the US flag flying next to each other that illustrates what I mean. You can see how the US flag has easily distinguishable characteristics, even when viewed from afar. One can easily see the big blue canton in the corner with the stars. One can also make out the red and white stripes. The US flag excels because it has several pieces of great symbolism. Most Americans would know what they mean. A child could draw the flag from memory, and each of the components is big enough that you can see what they are from a great distance. By contrast, although the New Jersey flag has a lot of great symbolism, it's all crammed into a little piece of the middle of the flag. It's far too tiny to see from a distance. Look at the picture on screen and tell me honestly how much of those little individual details you can make out from far away. Lastly, the fifth principle that the North American Vexillological Association includes is be distinctive or be related. What this means is that you only want your flag to look similar to another flag if you're purposefully trying to show a connection between those two things. So, for example, many countries that were originally colonies of the British Empire have the British Union Jack as part of their own flags, such as Australia and New Zealand. This works well because they are trying to show that they are connected to Great Britain. However, if you are not trying to show that you are connected to Great Britain, putting the Union Jack in your flag would be a terrible idea. This is a characteristic where the New Jersey flag actually does sort of okay, because a huge number of other US states made the same mistake we did of putting their seals as the centerpiece of their state flags. So in a sense, you could say it's a common characteristic of US flags. However, it's a bad characteristic, generally speaking, on each of them. So, just to go through this again, how does New Jersey's flag stack up based on these principles? Keep it simple, we do poorly. Use meaningful symbolism, we do well. Use 2 to 3 basic colors, we do poorly. No lettering or seals, we do terribly. And be distinctive or be related, we do okay. So we're doing bad at 3 of them, and good at only 2. Now, the viewer who requested this video suggested that I talk about possible replacements for the New Jersey flag. I looked into this and found lots of really great possibilities online. In fact, NJ.com, the website for some of the state's main newspapers, ran a contest where they let people submit possible flag designs and then have readers vote on a winner. I'll provide a link about their contest in the video description where you can see a lot of the flags that were in the top ranks at the end. However, I'm not going to show any other person's flag in this video since I don't know what I would be allowed to use without their permission. To make up for this, I created some flag designs of my own based on the principles of vexillology from the NAVA. Here are 4 possibilities that I came up with. This is the first and most simple one that I came up with, which really just goes for the very basic colors, keep it simple type of mentality. This flag was largely inspired by the Tennessee state flag, which has at its centerpiece 3 stars representing the 3 great divisions of Tennessee, which are Western Tennessee with Memphis, Middle Tennessee with Nashville, and Eastern Tennessee with the Smoky Mountains. So I really like how their flag has something for each of the regions of the state, and that's what I tried to represent here. So in the top left and bottom right, you have blue representing the Jersey Shore of South Jersey. In the bottom left and top right, you have green representing the mountains of North Jersey. And in the center, you have a golden star representing the light bulb, because Thomas Edison created the first light bulbs that functioned well enough for commercial use at his Menlo Park laboratory in central Jersey. So, I have something for North Jersey, South Jersey, and Central Jersey, and I have something representing our state's geography, and something representing the innovation of our people. Here's the second flag I designed, and as you can see, it's a bit more complex. If you watch any of Governor Murphy's speeches, you'll hear over and over again how he really emphasizes New Jersey's role as a state of innovation. So that message is what this flag tries to drive home. This flag represents both New Jersey's technological and political innovations. The left side of the flag has a light bulb, which is a powerful New Jersey symbol that we already discussed. And on the right are 3 lightning bolts. You might wonder what New Jersey has to do with a lightning bolt, and this is actually a reference to Benjamin Franklin's lightning bolt experiment with the kite. Obviously, Ben Franklin is the most famous person associated with the experiment, and it is well known that he was from Pennsylvania. But many historians believe his son William actually helped him, and William Franklin would later go on to move to New Jersey and become our governor. So the lightning experiment actually has an interesting New Jersey connection. With that, this flag represents 2 technological innovations associated with New Jersey. But what about the political innovations? That all has to do with numbers. Why did I choose 3 lightning bolts? Why not 1 or 2? Because New Jersey was the 3rd state to ratify the Constitution. Additionally, if you look at the light bulb on the left, you'll see 10 rays emitting from the filament. Those represent the 10 constitutional amendments that make up the Bill of Rights, because New Jersey was the first state to ratify the Bill of Rights. Lastly, this flag represents New Jersey's revolutionary spirit, because the 2 colors it uses are buff and blue, the same colors as New Jersey's Revolutionary War uniforms chosen by George Washington. Although this flag isn't as simple as the previous flag, I think it's still simple enough that a child could get the basic idea from memory. You just draw a light bulb at the left and 3 lightning bolts on the right. And it has a lot of meaningful symbolism that would be a good educational experience for kids. The last thing I like about this flag is that I feel it's really distinctive. Very few other flags use lightning bolts, And I think especially if you're a kid drawing a flag, you'd probably get a big kick out of drawing lightning bolts. Here's the third flag that I created, and it combines elements from both of the previous flags. The bottom has the dark blue color, representing the Jersey Shore. The green mountains, of course, represent the mountains of North Jersey, and the light bulb in the background represents Central Jersey once again. This flag represents New Jersey's role as the third state because there are 3 mountains instead of any other number, and it represents our role as the first state to ratify the Bill of Rights because once again, there are 10 rays coming out of the light bulb. 2 of the main colors on this flag are dark blue and buff, representing New Jersey's Revolutionary War uniforms again. Another thing I think this flag does better than the others is how you can actually envision that light bulb lighting up the background in the buff color. So it really does a better job of showing how New Jersey lights up the world, as opposed to the others that just sort of had the light bulb sitting there. So, those were the first 3 flags I designed. Here's the last one. Now hang on. I know you're going to point out that this violates a whole bunch of the rules of vexillology, and I understand that. I know the flag has words on it, I know the details are kinda tiny, and all that, it's all very fair. But hear me out. This flag does have one key benefit over the others, which is that it really shows off what it's like to actually live in the state. More than any other state flag I've ever seen, if we adopted this flag, it would really tell people across the country what we deal with on a regular basis. So that's all the flags I designed. I'll put some links in the video description that talk about the good flag making principles in more detail in case you want to try your hand at designing a New Jersey flag. I hope you've enjoyed delving into vexillology today. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to be notified when I release new content. As I said earlier, this video was recommended by a viewer, so if any of you have ideas for future videos, please tell me in the comments. I can't promise that I'll make any particular video, and I can't give you a sense of how soon I'll be able to make it if I decide to, but I promise that I'll take your suggestion into consideration. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.